Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us as we get set to kick off 2021. 16 of the baddest monster trucks are set to throw it down to kick off the January season. Wild Hair and Snakebite are set to make a debut here tonight. We're going to get things wrapped up out of the pit party and jump right into round number 1. Now to kick off 2021 is Medusa, who draws up against the Gunslinger Ford. Gunslinger made an impact last year on the Thursday Night Thunder circuit. Couldn't come up with a victory. Medusa still new out here, trying to get the bugs dialed in and out of that truck. Two Fords running down the straight, up and over the cars, and Medusa gets it down to the shutdown area. They move on to round number 2. Well, up next, the King Crunch Chevrolet draws up against the brand new Jurassic Attack. Both of these trucks made their debuts at the Legends show at the end of December. There's the green light, they're pretty even, up and over the cars. Jurassic turns it over on the big end. King Crunch will come out with the victory. Jurassic Attack got on the other side of them cars and just turned the truck over. They might still have some bugs to work out in that brand new ride. Nonetheless, King Crunch will move on to round number 2. Now, coming up here next is going to be the Inferno Machine drawn up against the brand new Wild Hair Chevrolet. Rich Wagner behind the wheel of the Wild Hair. He also drives American Guardian and Titan. He draws up against Inferno here in round number 1. As they go green, Inferno has a slight lead, but Wild Hair with some sick air gets it down to the shutdown area. What a run by Wild Hair. That truck looks bad fast. Well, coming up next, Bulldozer draws up against Snakebite. The Bull versus the Snake. Who moves on to round number 2? Both trucks staged at the starting line. That brand new Snakebite's looking good. Bulldozer wants to put him on the shelf as we go green. Down the straight, up and over the cars. And the Snake will outrun the Bull. Moving on to round number 2. What a race right there. Up next, the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder draws up against Taz. The Blue Thunder machine has won out here before. Taz hasn't claimed a victory yet, but he might just do so here tonight. Both trucks now down the straight, up and over the cars, and what a roll for Taz, upside down. He couldn't bring it around. He must have had his foot through that floorboard because the RPMs in that motor were peaking. Look at it right here. He tried to bring it back on all fours and just couldn't come up with it. What a wild ride for the Taz machine. MTA officials down there now going to roll him back over. He was going for Blue Thunder, just couldn't come up with the victory. What a ride. Well, up next, the Zombie Machine draws up against Power Ford. Zombie won week 1 of the December season. Can they bring it around again here tonight and take that checkered flag home? Both trucks stage as we go green. Down the straight, they're looking even, up and over the cars. And what a race, got a photo finish at the shutdown area. Power Ford gets it by half a truck. They move on. Well, now, the Gravedigger draws up against the El Toro Loco, who was your overall points winner in the December season. Now, Keith Cromwell is a 2-time champ here on Thursday Night Thunder and Gravedigger. This ought to be a barn burner, folks, as we go green. Down the straight, El Toro pulls the lead on him, up and over the cars, and Gravedigger comes back on him. Gravedigger will move on to round number 2. What a race right there. Now, your current Thursday Night Thunder champion, Megan Jagger in Whiplash, draws up against one of the legends here on Thursday Night Thunder, the UFO Machine, who has been bad fast. Took home the Full Throttle Championship a couple months ago. Down the straight they go. Whiplash has the lead, but UFO coming back on him. And UFO will upset the champion here in round number 1. Moving on to round number 2, but not without problems for the Whiplash Machine. The MTA officials are towing her off the track. Hopefully it's nothing major and they're able to come back for next week's show. Whiplash is on the trailer for the night. Well, now to kick off round number 2, the King Crunch Chevrolet is set to take on the Ford and Medusa. This ought to be a classic matchup because both trucks ran strong in round number 1. Chevrolet and Ford staged at the starting line. King Crunch taking on Medusa, who moves on to the semifinals as we go green. The Ford Medusa pulls on him, up and over the cars. King Crunch comes back on her, and the King Crunch Chevrolet moves on to the semifinals. Medusa joins Whiplash on the trailer. Now, next up here in round number 2, the Wild Hair taking on the brand new Snakebite. That Snakebite looked good in round number 1, outrunning the Bulldozer Machine, but Wild Hair had some sick air off that first jump. Who goes on to the semifinals? Snakebite, Wild Hair as we go green, up and over the cars. Wild Hair with some sick air again, putting Snakebite on the trailer. Half a truck right there and a photo finish. The Wild Hair moves on. Well, up next here in round number 2, Power Ford set to take on the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder. Both these trucks look good in round 1. Two Fords about to throw it down here on Thunder as we go green. Down the straight we go, they're looking even, up and over the cars, and hard roll for Blue Thunder, and he's over. What a ride for the Blue Thunder Machine. He went end over end, The rear end got kicked up on that first jump and he dive bombed it right in the middle of the track. And you see now the MTA track crew is down there to roll that Blue Thunder machine back over. And oh, what a break for the Blue Thunder team. They've got their hands full to get that truck back together. Just a bad day at the office for the Blue Thunder team. Well, coming up next here in round number 2 to close it out, the Gravedigger taking on UFO. What a classic matchup right here, ladies and gentlemen. Who would think you'd see Gravedigger taking on UFO again? But they are staged at the starting line on Thunder. As we go green, UFO pulling on him a little bit up and over the cars. And UFO with a smooth pass will outrun the Gravedigger. Moving on to the semifinals, Gravedigger's on the trailer. Now, we're going to take you down to the pits of the Blue Thunder team. As we just saw crash out in the middle of the track, they are thrashing on that truck. Axle housings and planetaries all busted to pieces. The crew is thrashing to get that truck back to 100%, so they'll be back next week. Well, now to kick off the semifinal matchups here on Thursday Night Thunder, the Wild Hair Chevrolet set to take on the King Crunch Chevrolet. King Crunch made its debut at the Legends Show at the end of December. They draw up against the brand new Wild Hair. Two Chevrolets about to throw it down as we go green. Wild Hair has a lead on him up and over the cars, and Wild Hair and Rich Wagner take the brand new Chevrolet to the finals. King Crunch goes home. That brand new Wild Hair is running strong. Well, now to close out the semifinals, UFO set to take on Power Forward. UFO won the Redemption Show and the Full Throttle Show. They have made that truck a decorative piece. They draw up against the Power Forward as we go green. Slight lead to Power Forward, sick air by UFO, and UFO turns it over on the big end. What a ride for the UFO machine, and it looks like they've got the win by a tire length. We're going to go back to an instant replay. You see UFO just launch the truck end over end right here. I don't know if he got into the brakes or the wall, but nonetheless, UFO is upside down, but finds himself in the finals. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you back to the pits. We're going to get an update on the Whiplash machine that got towed off the track in round 1. It's fuel issues is what we're getting the word of. They're not getting fuel to the motor. They hope to have that truck running back for next week. Well, now it's what we all come to see, ladies and gentlemen. The finals here on Thursday Night Thunder. The Chevrolet, Rich Wagner, and Wild Hair goes up against the Ford and UFO and James Valancourt. Now, here's a little story for you. Both of these drivers met each other in the finals at the Full Throttle event. James was in the UFO machine. Rich Wagner was in the Titan Chevrolet. They are here meeting each other again to kick off the 2021 year. Wild Hair, UFO, it's showtime. Down the straight, Wild Hair with a lead on him up and over the cars, and Wild Hair turns it over on the big end. He pulls out all the stops and upsets the UFO machine in that brand new truck. Congratulations to Rich Wagner and Wild Hair for winning Thursday Night Thunder. Well, now we're going to take a look at the current point standings closing out week number 1. Wild Hair holds the lead in that brand new truck with 20 points. UFO right behind him with 15. Jurassic Attack and Gunslinger hold the gate closed with 5.
Standing tall up in victory lane, I done brought the pain and now they screaming my name. Yeah, everybody saw me rock the place. Now there's flashbulbs are popping and mics in my face. Always giving the crowd what they need. Now they're wearing my shirts front row to nosebleed. Now the crowd forms is what it's all about. Signing autographs until the lights out. Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Thursday Night Thunder. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out our other videos linked right here on our channel. Always make sure you crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next week.